What's going on, Giants fans? We are back again with another video, so make sure you are subscribed and have your notifications turned on. Yesterday, we put out 3 videos because there was news that came out, and we wanted to make sure you guys had a video for every single signing. So subscribe, turn those notifications on, help us get to 7,000 subscribers. Let's get into today's video. What's going on, guys? Hope you're having a great day. You are watching New York Giants Now by Chat Sports. I'm your host, Marshall Green. Give me a follow on Twitter at @MarshallGreen_. Trying to get to 1,000 followers. And I only really want Giants fans to follow me on Twitter, so I'd really appreciate it. And you can always chop it up with me in the DMs about Giants football at @MarshallGreen_. In today's show, we're going to look at the latest New York Giants free agency rumors. 3 guys that I've seen on Twitter that the Giants could be interested in, and you guys have been asking me about them. And I think that these are all 3 guys that would fit on the New York Giants. They don't have the cap space to sign all 3 of them. If they do have cap space, they would choose to really only sign one of them. The first one being Michael Pierce, the nose tackle, the defensive tackle. Through his NFL career, he has been one of the best run-stopping and block-shedding defensive tackles and nose tackles in the National Football League. And with Austin Johnson leaving and signing with the Los Angeles Chargers, the Giants, they need to fill a need at nose tackle. And with the Vikings recently releasing Michael Pierce, that could be a perfect situation for a multitude of reasons. He fits a need. He's still somewhat of a young player, just 29 years old, and he has ties to Don Wink Martindale. The thing is, he only played in 8 games last year for the Minnesota Vikings. They cut him to create some cap space. 20 tackles, 3 tackles for loss, 3 sacks, which for him at 6 foot, 340 pounds, is a good number. He's not really someone that's going to give you much pass rush punch up the middle, but he is someone that's going to greatly impact your run game. Back in 2019, he didn't play in 2020 because he opted out because of COVID, because he has asthma. He played in 14 games. That's when he was last with the Baltimore Ravens, and that is when he was one of the best nose tackles in the National Football League. This guy is a PFF run-stopping machine. He's consistently graded as one of the best run stoppers via PFF. So I think this would be a good need and a good fit for the New York Giants. Last year, they weren't that great against stopping the run, and they just lost Austin Johnson, who in fact was one of their best run-stopping defensive linemen. So if you could replace Austin Johnson with Michael Pierce while getting a player you know about because Wink Martindale has spent a lot of time with him, I think that would be a win-win for the New York Giants, and it wouldn't count against the draft compensation pick formula because he was released by the Vikings, so it wouldn't count against that for the New York Giants. But I want to know what you have to say. Get involved early on in the show. Get in the comments section. I know we can talk about cap space and cap space. We didn't think the Giants had the cap space to sign Glowinski or Feliciano yesterday, but they made it work, and the contracts came out that they're kind of backloaded with the first year not having that much of a cap hit, so they could do the same with Michael Pierce. But let me know. Go down and type Y for yes you want to sign him, or you can go down and type N for no. Here at Giants Now and Chat Sports, we are growing like crazy, and it's a credit to all of you that watch, interact, and subscribe to the channel. So I want to thank you for that, and what we're doing is we're growing to different platforms that you use. We will now be posting our content on rumble.com, which is very similar to YouTube. It's a video platform app that's uncensored. We are the biggest sports brand on there. They've got news, politics, tech. So give us a follow. If you want a double sub, you've always asked me about that. Another way to show love is by giving us a follow on Rumble, and you can do that at rumble.com/NYGiantsTV. When I was driving into work this morning, I saw the push notification that Myles Jack was released by the Jacksonville Jaguars, and I had DMs coming in saying, Marshall, could we go out and get Myles Jack? This would fill a position in need. Outside of Blake Martinez, the only 2 inside linebackers on this roster are Tay Crowder and TJ Brunson. And a duo of Martinez and Jack would be great in the Wink Martindale defense. And I've been a big fan of Jack since he came out of UCLA, where he was a 2-way player at the collegiate football ranks, playing running back and linebacker. He smartfully chose to be a linebacker, and what he's done as a linebacker in the National Football League, he has consistently been one of the best. Last year, People said, oh, he wasn't the same player, and you can't always judge how good a player is off the number of tackles they had, but this guy had 108 tackles. The year before that, 118. Then he missed a couple games in 2019, having just 66 tackles. Then in 2018, he had 107 tackles with 2.5 sacks. Myles Jack and Blake Martinez, if that's your two inside linebackers in this 3-4 Wink Martindale defense, that would be the best linebacker duo I can remember for the Giants in a long, long time. I really like Myles Jack because he would bring some speed to this defense. Watching this defense last year, the thing that popped off the screen was the lack of athleticism, and Myles Jack would fix that. He is a true 3-down linebacker that can play sideline to sideline, can drop into coverage, and can bring pressure off the edge. We know Wink Martindale loves to be an aggressive blitzer, and I think you would find a lot of fun ways to use Myles Jack in those different defensive blitz schemes. So let me know. I'm asking you guys again. If you're Joe Schoen and you can muster up enough cap space, would you go out and sign Myles Jack? We know he likes linebackers. The Buffalo Bills, when he was the assistant GM, he drafted Edmonds in the first round, the linebacker currently for the Buffalo Bills. So he definitely likes linebackers, and we know Wink Martindale does. So go down in the comments, type S for sign, or you can go down and type P for pass. This is the guy that I would target the most, and that is Za'Darius Smith. He was released by the Green Bay Packers just a couple of days ago, and he's the best player on this list, and he's also the biggest need at position for the New York Giants. The Giants, they need another pass rusher. If you can have a duo of Azeez Ojulari and Za'Darius Smith, you'd be sitting in a prime position, and you got Leonard Williams who can play on the edge, play at D tackle. He plays all over the defensive line. That would be a great defensive front and a front seven look for Wink Martindale. What about Wink Martindale? He also has ties to Za'Darius Smith. He was with the Baltimore Ravens for a couple of years before he signed with the Packers back in 2020. He didn't play that much in 2021, only one game because he has a back injury, which I'm monitoring and I'm kind of concerned about. But when you look at what he did in the 2020 season, he was one of the best edge rushers in the National Football League. 17 tackles for loss, 12.5 sacks, 4 forced fumbles, and 52 tackles. Za'Darius Smith would be an instant upgrade to this Giants front seven, and they would make him one of the best units in the NFL. Azeez Ojulari, Leonard Williams, and Za'Darius Smith, that would keep offensive coordinators in the NFC East up at night thinking about ways to stop this. And these are the type of free agents, all three guys that the Giants will be looking at. Guys that were cut, guys that have something to prove, and people that aren't going to get, the top dollar, the $10 million per year type of contracts in NFL free agency as we sit in day 2 of this cycle. I really do believe that the Giants still have a little bit of money to spend. You can always create cap. It's kind of a fake thing. Look at what the New Orleans Saints do every year. I know Joe Schoen has talked about not kicking the can down the road, but the way he structured the Glowinski contract, it shows you that he's creative and he's going to put the money less so on the books this year and more so as the years to come. So let me know. Lorenzo Carter, someone I'm on this show talking about that I think the Giants should re-sign. The way he ended the 2022 season, he was on fire and deserves to be back on the New York Giants. But if you could only pick one, if it was Za'Darius Smith or it was Lorenzo Carter, go down and pick an edge for me. Type ZS for Za'Darius Smith or go down and type LC for Lorenzo Carter. I want to thank all of you for watching today's show and being so tuned in to our NFL free agency coverage. So like the video, subscribe. We're trying to get to 7,000 followers and give me 7,000 subs, and give me a follow on Twitter at @MarshallGreen_. And if you made it to the end of the video, give me a follow, send me a DM you came from this video, and I'll give you a follow back.